What up? It's your boy Wall Street, and I'm back. Today, I want to talk about Jayson Tatum and the Boston Celtics. Because if you've been watching ESPN or the NBA playoffs, you're probably well aware that Jayson Tatum severely injured his Achilles. He ruptured his Achilles, I believe, in his right leg, or I guess ankle, or wherever you want to consider your Achilles is at. It was a non-contact injury, but he's had surgery. He's recovering now. But if you guys know about this type of injury, this is not something you come back from super quickly. So I'm guessing that he is going to be out all of next season. And even if he is ready for the playoffs, I don't think he's going to play. Right, and I highly doubt he'd be he needs to play in the regular season to be able to be ready for the playoffs. Right, you can't just walk into the playoffs without playing any games in the regular season. It's very hard to do that. I mean, look at Kawhi Leonard. Right, the Clippers, make it far in the playoffs, and obviously, it's it is what it is. Right, it's a different team than the Celtics, but the Clippers make it far enough in the playoffs. They're not making it deep to really do anything, but it's like the Clippers make the playoffs, they show up, they play a 7-game series, and then they're out, right? But I think a lot of that is contributable to the fact that Kawhi Leonard, sure, can turn it on pretty quickly, but they're not getting reps together as a team, that much. So you're really just you can't just mold together that quickly, right? And maybe that's a poor example, but generally, you're not going to be able to just come into the season if you haven't played all season, right? Especially when it matters most. You can't just come into the postseason without playing in the regular season. But that's a little bit more specific than how I really want to talk about this. What I guess I want to talk about is, what does this mean for the future of the Celtics, right? Because obviously, they were just eliminated by the New York Knicks. So they're not going to be repeat champions. And it's more likely than not that they're not going to win the championship next year because you just lost your best player for the entire season, basically. So luckily for the Celtics, they have Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum under contract for multiple more years. Jaylen Brown is under contract until the summer of 2029. Jayson Tatum is under contract also until that summer, and then has a player option for the following season. So he could either be a free agent in the summer of 29 or the summer of 2030. So Jrue Holiday also under contract until 2027, has a player option the year after in 2028. Kristaps Porzingis will be in the final year of his deal next season. Derek White is under contract for several more seasons. Al Horford is a free agent this season. And Luke Cornett is also a free agent this upcoming offseason. Torrey Craig as well, but Torrey Craig was a recent add for the Celtics. Didn't really get a lot of playing time. So it's not like this team is just going to be disbanded, right? When Jayson Tatum comes back, the team is going to be relatively intact, right? Unless they make some trades. But if they don't opt to make any trades, this team, these players, they're under contract. So I think the only thing is an Achilles injury can really affect your play style, right? And Jayson Tatum is skilled enough where it's not like he needs to rely on his athleticism at all times to be successful, because he's extremely athletic, but I don't think that is the main reason that he's successful in the league. I think he's a very skilled player as well, and he has size. He's 6'8", 6'9", and can put the ball on the floor, can create space off the dribble, and make shots. He can make shots off the spot up. There's a lot of different ways that he can score, and he's a good passer too. He's a good rebounder as well. So I think he's going to be able to adapt, and frankly, he's young enough. He's 27, so I think he can recover pretty nicely. If this had happened to him 5 years down the line, it might be a different story, but I think he'll be fine, right? And knowing the Celtics, they always figure it out, right? It doesn't even matter. They could get rid of everybody tomorrow, right? They might be bad for one season, and they're going to get back into the playoffs like that. It's so easy for them, because I feel like this is just ingrained in their history, is even if they got to figure it out, they're going to figure it out pretty quick. So I don't think if I'm a Celtics fan, I'm not extremely worried, right? But I am upset, right? I'm a little uncertain. I'm a little, worried that is Jayson Tatum going to come back and be able to be the guy that, we've seen him be, the guy that we saw in the finals last year, win the championship? Is he still going to be that guy, right? Me personally, I think he's going to be fairly similar to that guy. I don't think he's going to experience an extreme drop-off from this injury. I think he has the resilience. I think he has the ability to come back and be good as new, essentially, right? I think there's going to be some difficulties and he might struggle to get into the rhythm eventually, but I think he's going to get there. So we'll see. And I think Jaylen Brown can step up, right? This game against the Knicks that I witnessed tonight was horrible, but Jaylen Brown performed decently well. He fouled out in the third quarter, which was pretty crazy. But I think he can turn on. I think he's going to have a really good season. He's going to have to for the Celtics to even have a chance to, be a top 4 seed in the East, right? So I do think Jayson Tatum means that much to the Celtics. I think we're going to see a decent drop-off, in terms of win totals from this season at least. I don't think they're going to be a 60-win team without Jayson Tatum. Will they be a 50-win team? Probably. But, I think it'll be a noticeable difference. Maybe significant's not the right term, but I think the Celtics are going to be fine. I just think this is a setback. This isn't a catastrophe or destruction of this team as we know it. This is merely a setback. And like I said, man, Jayson Tatum can be that guy. Jaylen Brown can be that guy. Derek White can be that guy. But it will be interesting to see, is Porzingis going to be around on this team by the time Tatum comes back, right? Because if Tatum misses all next season, Porzingis is a free agent in the summer of 26. So he obviously struggled a lot in the playoffs just to get on the floor. This virus that he had, I don't know if it was COVID or if it was something else, but this virus they had seems horrible, and he's still suffering from it, or the after effects from it, months later, he can barely breathe. He's having difficulty moving. It's just, I hope he's okay. Porzingis is a very fun and interesting player to watch. And I hope, he can recover from this because he really is a difference maker. So that's all I got, guys. If you're a Celtics fan, if you're an NBA fan, leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think about the Celtics and what their future looks like now that Jayson Tatum has, had this injury. He's undergone surgery and he's, on the road to recovery, but likely will be out next season. I want to know what you guys think about the future. So leave some comments down below. Let me know what it is. Let me know what's up. And I'm going to check you later, man. Stay safe, stay up, stay blessed, stay humble, handle business, stand on business. Peace out.